Everybody deserves to be in a happy place. I feel that everybody should be able to speak their truth, no matter what that is. Be happy, and that's where I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to get this off my chest, really. And that's it.
Martell Holt is now in a medically induced coma after a devastating high-speed car crash just outside Huntsville, Alabama. Emergency crews called it one of the most severe wrecks they've ever witnessed. His luxury SUV slammed into a concrete barrier so hard the entire front end was crushed beyond recognition. At first glance, people assumed it was just another tragic accident, but the details don't add up.
According to the Alabama Department of Transportation, the fatality rate of car crashes in Alabama is on the rise.
It all started just a few days ago on a quiet stretch of highway, just outside Huntsville, Alabama. Martell Holt was driving his high-end performance SUV when everything changed in an instant. According to early reports, his vehicle slammed into a concrete barrier with such force that emergency crews said the front end was completely mangled. The wreckage didn't even look like a car anymore. Martell was pulled from the twisted metal and rushed to the nearest hospital. And while, as of now, he remains unconscious and in a medically induced coma, doctors are monitoring him around the clock. Family, friends, and fans have been holding their breath, hoping he pulls through. But here's the thing. When first responders got to the scene, they noticed something odd right away. There were no emergency brake marks on the road. That means there was no indication Martell tried to slow down or avoid hitting anything. The road itself didn't offer any clues either. So how does a seasoned driver like Martell lose complete control of his vehicle on a clear, flat highway in broad daylight without even touching the brakes? But what if I told you this wasn't just a tragic accident, but the start of a story no one saw coming? As investigators dug deeper, more red flags started popping up. First, the complete lack of skid marks raised immediate suspicions. Usually, even in sudden crashes, there's some attempt to stop or react, but not here. Martell's SUV didn't slow down at all. That fact alone made authorities question whether this was really just a solo crash. Then there's the condition of the vehicle. The damage didn't match what you typically see from a one-car collision. It was one-sided, smashed inward, as if something heavy hit it, or pushed it deliberately. The kind of impact that doesn't happen unless there's another force involved. And remember, this wasn't some back road with limited visibility. This was a wide open stretch of highway. So naturally, investigators started reviewing footage from traffic cameras and nearby businesses to piece together what led up to the moment of the crash. And just when investigators thought it couldn't get stranger, surveillance footage brought a shadowy new player into the frame. Multiple cameras picked up Martell's SUV driving smoothly through the city before the crash. But here's what really caught their attention. Every time Martell's vehicle appeared on camera, a black Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon was right behind it. Not far off, not just casually in the area. It was tailing him consistently. For about 15 minutes, straight, that same G-Wagon stayed locked in behind Martell's vehicle. It kept pace perfectly, weaving in and out of traffic when needed, but never drifting too far behind or getting lost in the flow. That kind of movement didn't look random. It looked planned, like someone was following him, and it wasn't just one camera angle. The G-Wagon appeared in every segment of footage leading up to the crash. Same vehicle, same distance, same behavior. By the time Martell's SUV disappeared from camera range just minutes before the crash, so did the G-Wagon. And guess what? There were no surveillance cameras directly pointed at the crash site itself. So whatever happened next wasn't caught on tape. But the fact that someone was clearly following him has investigators questioning.
I reached out to the Huntsville Police Department and they told me that here in Huntsville, there's only 5 to 10 crashes per year.
Just when investigators were running low on leads, a woman came forward with information that flipped everything upside down. She didn't want her name released, but her account has been taken seriously because what she saw lines up with the timeline and the surveillance footage. She says she was driving a few cars behind Martell's SUV and the black G-Wagon when it happened. According to her, everything looked normal at first until the G-Wagon suddenly swerved hard and sideswiped Martell's vehicle at high speed. She said Martell's SUV instantly jerked to the side, lost control, and slammed straight into the concrete barrier. The witness described the sound as an explosion. That's how intense the impact was. She was so shaken up that she almost pulled over herself. But what caught her off guard even more? The G-Wagon didn't stop. It didn't slow down. It didn't check for damage. It kept going fast and vanished from view within seconds. And here's the most chilling detail. She said the G-Wagon had no license plate. Not on the back, not on the front, nothing. Which is rare, especially for a vehicle that expensive. It wasn't just careless. It looked intentional, almost like someone didn't want to be traced. Her statement gave the investigation a serious push, because now it wasn't just a matter of, did something go wrong? Now it was who made something go wrong. That was jaw-dropping. Enough. But then came the real twist. Who owns that G-Wagon? That's when an anonymous tip came in, and it brought drama straight into familiar territory. The tip claimed that a black G-Wagon was recently purchased by none other than Marsau
to come out about him and things that he's done. But it's okay for him to discuss me or to kick me while I'm down or talk about my infidelity like it's humorous or something like that. It's like a lot of things that he has put my wife and I through. Discuss me or to kick me while I'm down or talk about my infidelity like it's humorous or something like that. It's like a lot of things that he has put my wife and I through by him lying and misleading. We don't even have a friendship no more. Hey, taking something together.
I don't know where it goes from here. All I know is that intentionally trying to hurt my family and myself after I've always tried to be there in those situations, this is tough.
Look,
Man,
I gotta do what I gotta do. That's what my face is, not in my face.
Investigators followed up quickly, and while no official charges have been filed, sources say Marsau was detained for questioning, not arrested, but enough to stir major speculation. The timing of the G-Wagon purchase also raised questions. Word is it was bought just a few weeks ago and wasn't yet fully registered, hence the missing plates. Authorities are now digging into ownership records and trying to confirm if it's the same vehicle that fled the crash scene. Fans have been connecting the dots. Martell's crash, the tailing G-Wagon, no plates. Now Marsau's name is suddenly in the mix. The tension just went from drama TV to real-life mystery. Now here's where things turn personal and painful, because Martell and Marsau weren't just castmates. Martell and Marsau's history goes way back. Before the cameras, before the fame, these two were real friends, business partners. They built together, laughed together, and for a while, they had each other's backs on and off the screen. But things started crumbling once the cheating rumors hit Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Martell's very public affair had already made the group tense. Then whispers started about Marsau possibly having his own secrets. Affairs, side relationships, and late-night behavior that had his own marriage under scrutiny. Martell didn't hold back. He threw shade. Marsau clapped back. And what was once friendly banter started feeling real, heated, resentful. Sources close to production say the vibe on set changed big time. What used to be a brotherhood started to look like a Cold War. There were reports of arguments off camera, passive-aggressive jabs during group scenes. Some even said they were scared a physical fight might break out during filming. Their friendship never really bounced back. And in recent weeks, the silence between them had grown louder. Could revenge have been brewing off camera long before the crash happened? Fans are starting to think so.
all I heard is a rumor and I don't need no admissions. All right, I'm just really talking about just making sure you're good.
Yeah.
And if you need anything, I'm there.
I appreciate that.
All right.
But everything's good though.
All right, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Hold up. If Martell and Melody are so good, then why is Melody bringing this up at dinner like it still bothers her?
Hello?
Momo.
What's up, Solo?
So me and Tell, we out here at the lot. I had some concerns from the other night when we talked at dinner.
Okay.
You know how Mel brought up the whole stuff and it got a little uncomfortable. So I just want to make sure that he was all good for everything we got going on. Because when we're talking about getting this whole thing together and getting this whole initiative together, you know, we need everybody's game face.
That's always a concern.
Martell said it happened over a year ago and he's back to being perfect, so that's a good thing. I think he's good. He ain't gonna be on no more of that.
We probably should meet up, man, instead of just conversing over the phone, because I'd like to see exactly how things shake out.
The moment Marsau's name started trending alongside Martell's crash, social media lit up. Fans didn't hold back. Theories started flooding timelines. Screenshots of the surveillance stills were being compared with old photos of Marsau's G-Wagon. And suddenly, people weren't just asking what happened. They were demanding answers. One fan tweeted, "This wasn't an accident. Marsau was jealous of Martell's comeback energy. Something about this feels off. Another user wrote, "That black G-Wagon wasn't just following, it was hunting. Why hasn't Marsau been arrested yet?" And it wasn't just Twitter. Instagram comment sections were flooded with remarks like, "Own better not try to sweep this under." The rug. And you can see the tension between them if you go back and rewatch this season. The allegations are bold, but they're also growing louder by the day. Some fans even started tagging law enforcement and media outlets, pushing them to dig deeper. But amid all this noise, one truth stands clear. Martell can't speak for himself right now, and that silence is deafening. Law enforcement isn't ignoring the situation. Sources close to the investigation confirm that detectives are now reviewing GPS logs for both Martell's and Marsau's vehicles. They're comparing routes, timestamps, and trying to confirm whether the G-Wagon seen in the surveillance footage matches the one Marsau owns. They've also pulled cell tower data from the area, checking for pings from Marsau's phone during the time of the crash. If his phone was in that vehicle, or nearby, they'll know. In addition, they're going over more surveillance footage, this time from surrounding businesses and homes closer to the crash site. They're hoping to trace the G-Wagon's movement both before and after the impact, and perhaps the biggest piece? Investigators are now examining Marsau's vehicle directly. Sources say they're looking for any signs of collision, scratches, dents, or paint transfer that would match Martell's SUV. If they find anything, it could shift the entire investigation. As for Marsau, he may be walking free, but the cloud around him is growing darker by the hour. OWN has remained completely silent about the crash. No statements, no updates, not even a basic thoughts and prayers post. Behind the scenes, production is scrambling. Filming is on. Pause. Cast members are divided. Some want to support Martell and speak out. Others are keeping their distance, worried that saying too much could backfire if things turn legal. And let's not forget, this season of Love and Marriage. Huntsville was already heating up. Tensions between Martell and Marsau were at a boiling point on camera. Now those unresolved issues are taking center stage in real life. The big question on everyone's mind is, will the truth come out on the show? Or will producers choose to keep this story off the screen? Because one thing is clear, whatever happens next could change not just the cast, but the entire direction of the series. We're left with pieces of a puzzle, a coma, a mystery vehicle, an explosive fallout, and a man some now suspect was pushed too far. The truth is out there, but it's buried under layers of loyalty, lies, and loss. And until Martell wakes up, only speculation remains. But what do you think happened that night? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next twist in this story.